Brother Joshua. Oh, there you go.
It's good, bro.
Hey, what's happening? I was just trying to see if if this thing works still, man. I've been hearing complaints about the lives on Facebook lately.
Oh, I ain't heard nothing about that.
Yeah,
I know it works in groups, don't it?
Yeah, I'm in groups now. I went ahead and did it, but some people have been saying you can't add people to the broadcast and stuff. So I'm glad I was able to get you on there. But I want to see how many people or what's the limit. How many people we can get on there.
I don't think you can do a group. I know on Messenger you can do that. You can have like, shoot. I was in one group, man. It was like 15 people. It was like 15 people. Like, yeah, it was like this group. How random people add you to a group.
Yeah,
They ain't ask you.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what they did. Hold on, Rick. What's up? What you want? What does the word say? Is few and every the same word? Huh? All right, go on. Take it with you. Take that. Boy. You about to make me go bald. I swear. What?
That's what them kids would do. Hello. Hey, what's going on, little man? Good. All right.
No, he asked you how you was doing. Just go on somewhere.
Yeah, I'll accept that for now. It's his first time.
Yo, man, boy, drive me crazy.
All right. My little cousin just coming home from school right now.
Okay. All right. Look. You got a couple minutes to play with your tablet. Then you finna go to bed.
Sound just like my boys. We just had the same conversation.
Hey, man, he do his homework. You know what I'm saying? Tell me what he learned in school.
Yeah.
Do some extra stuff on the side. Hey, why not?
Exactly.
Even though I don't necessarily agree with tablets and stuff like that, but
no, that's a reward. That's a reward mechanism. So he using this part of his programs. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yep.
That's how my boys do too, man. We try to, tell them, look, do something educational on there. Don't just be, fucking off.
Yeah, man. Like, yeah.
But they like it. It's, it's cool.
Check these greens out though, bro. Watch it. Hold on. Let me...
Oh, I saw your post earlier. You was making some sweet potatoes and some greens, huh?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Make Big Mama proud, bro.
Yeah. There you go.
Yes, sir. Look, I ain't have to call her and ask her how to do it. I just remember her doing it for so many years.
Oh man, that's awesome, man.
Mm-hmm.
That's awesome. And that's ambitious for a lot of us, the generations after, right? Our grandparents and stuff. We kind of don't know, or we be afraid to just step out there and do some of the stuff they was doing or whatever. It might get overwhelming, because now we like to put stuff in the microwave and stuff like that, and so people is kind of scared to cook, but you got to just get out there and get on the field.
Yeah, man, I ain't gonna lie, that junk time consuming. It ain't easy, but it's like the more you do it, man, that junk become like second nature, and it save you money too, man. It's healthier, and I can cook it healthier than they did. You know what I'm saying?
Right. You go somewhere and get it. It's not gonna be as nutritious. You're right.
Yep.
I made some pork chops, player, from my grandma. Yeah, man. The first time I made pork chops ever. I made some for her. She entrusted me with it because I've been with her for a few months now, and she hasn't really asked me, hey, can you go ahead and make this or that? She'll trust me with the fish because I make fish all the time. You know what I mean? So she'll let me make fish. But she ain't asked me to make no pork chops because I don't eat that. You know what I mean? But I threw it together though. I threw it right together. Like boom, flour, seasoned it up, seasoned the flour, all of that, man. and hooked him up, and she ate it. She was like, "It's good." So hey.
Yeah, that's what's up. Hey, look, man, if I can get my grandma to eat some cooking, bro, I know I'm in there because she gonna be honest.
Right. I was expecting her to be like, "Nah, I don't really want this." But I made her 2 pork chops, and she ate one of them already, and then she got to work on the next one. So I'm like, okay, all right.
Man, look, can't none of my female cousins cook, bro.
For real?
No, they can't cook, bro. No. Man, my grandma ate my own, because, you know, I cook red cabbage all the time. And first time I had cooked it, I was like, ooh, I'm finna give it to grandma. I just sat back and watched her facial expression.
Yeah.
And she was like, it's good, grandson. Like, oh, snap.
Oh,
snap. I done made it.
You in. Yeah, that you know, my family is like that too, man. The guys, we know how to cook, man. Like we cook. All the fellas know how to cook. Barbecue, smoke, deep fry, bake, all all of that. We know how to cook, you know?
Oh yeah. Man, look, bro, in my cabinet, all I got is spices, vegetables, like straight up vegetables. I ain't got really no canned goods. I don't rock with canned goods like that, but you know,
I heard that.
To each his own.
Yeah,
but
I'll do it for garbanzo beans sometimes, but you know they got the kind that's in the foil sack now. That's not in the can. The kind that's kind of in the foil packaging, and I'll get those sometimes. Too much of the canned stuff either, man. Honestly, I'll go get frozen. Frozen is where it's at. You get some frozen veggies, man. If you got to do it that way, that's where it's at. I get a bag of some kale, some greens, spinach, broccoli, cauliflower, all of that. You know, Brussels sprouts. Yeah, that's how I rock.
Man, it's that farm market where I get all my produce from, just about, and then they got they just got like a whole section of free like frozen goods, like vegetables and stuff, and so I'm gonna have to rock with that, like black eyed peas, lima beans, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I'm gonna try that next, cause I ain't necessarily good at beans, bro. Like I cooked some navy beans one time, that was all right, you know, but
you ain't fooled around with beans yet, huh?
No.
We do beans.
Not yet.
We do, well, you know, we do beans because we had done the vegetarian thing for so long and the vegan thing for so long. So we really had to tap into beans, you know, to try to get some protein when we were being disciplined, you know. So we made we made all kind of beans. We love garbanzo beans. We'll eat those just right out the can, you know, or make some chickpea salad with it or something like that. But we'll make pintos. We'll make black beans. My girl just made some bean soup the day before yesterday, and put some little veggie meat up in there too. You know, a little bit.
Okay.
Yeah, veggies and whatnot.
So
some onions and stuff.
You from the West Coast? So I know you know how to cook bean pies, ain't you?
You know what? I never made a bean pie. I ain't never made a bean pie.
Man, I want to, man.
Yeah, that would actually be kind of fun. And see how that come out.
Yeah, man. It's this Muslim dude, man. He be in the hood every time I roll through, man. But every time I go through, I don't have no cash, and he be standing there. He be passing out the final call. You know, NOI Jones or whatever.
Yeah.
But he be standing there with the bean pie. Like, dang, bro, like you got cash up? He like, nah, I ain't got no cash up. You know.
They be good.
I want to try one, bro.
Yeah, people tell me they good. I haven't actually had an official one yet. I had like a store-bought prepackaged type joint. That shit don't count. But
nah, I don't. Nah,
yeah,
that
don't count. But people, they tell me that it's official. It's very good.
Okay.
Yeah,
man.
But the only thing is, it's all that sugar. So you just got to have you a piece and be like, all right, I'm cool. I ain't gonna get no more for a while.
Oh, they put a lot of sugar in it?
Oh yeah, they load that with sugar, man.
Oh
just
man,
like
my bucket list. Try one.
Yeah, it's like a sweet potato pie, man.
For the show. Or
yeah, I don't know, man. I ain't heard from Kansu, so we have to see if he chime in or whatnot. Now I invited multiple people to this thing to try to see if we can get something popping here, but I don't think more than one person can get on here, man.
Nah.
Yeah, shout out to Tony Morgan. He came in on this and shit, said peace. So yeah, peace to Tony Morgan. But yeah, I don't know. We might have to do something else. But I just wanted to, fire it up and let the folks see us a little bit or whatever. Just have a little convo.
Yeah. Check out my little library right here. Oh no, it's too dark. You probably
Oh
can't see
yeah,
it.
no, I can see. Yeah, man,
Okay.
you got a library. You guys got libraries, man. Like I got some digital stuff here and there, just a couple folders or whatever. But I only got like a handful of actual books.
Yeah, man. Like I checked my Amazon account like when I bought my first book on Amazon, but I had other books too. But I started way back in like 2008.
Okay. So you've been adding
Yeah,
on, man.
yeah.
Man, me and my
All these
buddies,
years.
me and my bros, what we used to do is we would go, we was in Arizona, so we'd leave the hood and go out and go to the mall and stuff, and go to the Barnes and Nobles and stuff like that, and we would just sit around and read in the store and not buy anything, just read stuff and then put it back and be like, all right, what I want to look at next, you know what I'm saying? We did a lot of that kind of stuff, man. So I never really got to start making a collection. I only have some stuff on mine. Brother Melvin, man, he got the Supreme. You already know he got the archive, man. And like I only added maybe 10, 20 things from that, and that's like already a lot of material.
Man, that boy loaded,
Yeah,
fully loaded.
Man. Whatever subject you want. Oh yeah, we got something on that, man. You can read about it. Look, check this out. That shit crazy.
Man, I call myself trying to. I had a little database, you know what I'm saying? A little library online. I mess around and put everything on the junk drive, and it was one of the big ones too, like the stick ones. You know what I'm saying? I messed around and sat on that guy one day, man, and that broken hair. I swear on everything. I wanted to cry, boy. I was like, oh my god, like thousands of books, bro. Like,
yeah.
And Mel was like, Mel don't looked up a guy that's in my area that fix him and stuff like that. I was like, all right, cool. I done pulled up at his house. I'm like, man, please, man, I need you to say this if you can. He like, man, I don't know, man. I'm gonna try. I was like, all right, just let me know. One time I'm getting nervous and shit. Like, damn, I got like 2,000 books on that. I need it.
Damn.
And he called me like, man, I'm sorry, though. I couldn't save it.
Oh.
Yeah, boy. He told me, man. Mel told me to get a cloud, like save everything to a cloud, back it up. I like, yeah, I'll do it. Yeah, whatever, I'll do it.
Yeah. You know what? That's what I was finna say. Now, when you see the commercials and the ads and people talking about cloud storage and why it's important, I bet your ass listening now.
Hell yeah, boy. Yeah, boy. Oh man, I had some bullets, man. I can't even remember all the books I had, but them shit's gone now.
Yeah. It happens, man. I lost a laptop, man. My son put water on my laptop, man. I had music on there. I had music videos on there. I had some of our stuff on there, like presentation for the tech talk and stuff. I had all kind of stuff on there, man. He spilled water on that shit, man. I was so mad. Yeah. Let him take it in his room and to watch Busy Beavers and stuff like that, learning programs and stuff. Yeah. And they messed around and got water on it, man.
All on them, boy. I see.
Yeah.
Boy, hurt your soul, boy.
Yeah, man. I'm still mad about that. Like, God. I kept it around. Dried it out. I let it, sit in the sun and dry out and all of that, man. And got a new battery and a new charger for it and just see if I could possibly, get it back. But no.
Yeah, bro. So they try to put it in the whole thing of rice, a whole big ass 20-pound bag of rice. Try to get this. Oh man, boy.
Yeah, I was mad, boy. I was mad.
Man, check this book out right quick. Hold on. I ain't cracked it open yet. Somebody gave it to me. I've been doing other stuff.
Neuro Tribes. That's interesting already. Yeah. That's an interesting title. The Legacy of Autism and the Future of Neurodiversity. Woo!
Boy.
Woo! Okay. So that's a segment of society, basically, that's represented by how their neurology work. And then there's other type of neurologies that may or may not exist now or have existed. You know what I'm saying? Wow.
Man, and see, the interesting thing about the whole population is, it began to be prevalent in like the late 90s and then like the early 2000s. So a lot of those kids that were born in like, of course, late 90s and early 2000s, they're pretty much adults now. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So they out in society, and I've met a couple that I've noticed, you know what I'm saying? I work with people on the spectrum. So when I see them in public, I was like, oh.
You can tell.
And yeah, I can tell. And I met one on Saturday, and he was like, you know what I'm saying? He's like, you know, I'm on the spectrum, because he seen my watch. Let me show you my watch. Like,
oh, okay, yeah.
So he's like, I'm on the spectrum, he it's just interesting to see him, like, he's in his 20s and working and stuff, and he's dealing with ASD. You know what I'm saying? So this book is like really, I guess it's delving into all that. But I ain't had a chance to crack it open yet. So it's like,
that's awesome, man.
You know, they gonna have kids one day too. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah. So
that's gonna be interesting too.
Is applied to this phenomenon as well.
Yeah, because like a huge misconception about like autism. Like I hear people saying like autistic means retarded. Like that's just not.
No, right. Retarded was really like a catch-all, I think, man, because it's a lot of, it's like an umbrella term, right? It's other more specific terminology that you can use for individuals. Yeah,
and I think really mental, they don't even say mental retardation anymore, but what it really means is like your IQ is below 70, I believe. Okay. If your IQ is below 70, that means you're mentally retarded.
Right.
Even though they don't use that anymore.
Right.
I think they use developmentally challenged or something like that.
Yeah.
I can't remember.
Yeah, developmentally challenged. But it's not speaking to why your IQ is so low. It's not saying why. It's just saying that it is.
Yeah. It's not necessarily saying why, but like if your IQ is below 7, you can't do basic stuff like tie your shoes, basic math, a lot of stuff.
Okay.
Yeah, so but kids, like, well, not just kids, but people with autism are definitely not slow by a long shot. They're extremely smart. The problem is they just perceive the world a whole lot differently than we do. So
yeah. I kind of get that impression as well, man. It's not that they're not smart or something like that. And you got the savantism, right? The phenomenon that happens where these people are very good at particular things, way better than we are at some of these things and stuff.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Part of that is their cerebrum is a little abnormal compared to neurotypical people, normal people, quotation marks. So you dealing with the cerebrum, is like that's where part of the brain that deals with senses. And then you have, of course, you got like the temporal lobes that deal with hearing, got a occipital lobe deals with sight. They sense all of these sensations that we feel is wired differently. So they might hear numbers, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, okay.
So it sounds, since the temporal lobe is so sensitive, like noise and stuff, and they're highly sensitive to it. But it may also trigger other senses.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You get what I'm saying? So it's like,
it might trigger your olfactory where now or smelling something causes you to feel a certain way or something like that.
You good?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, my internet was
okay.
starting to go out.
Yeah, I've heard if you smell something, then it might make you feel a tingling sensation, or it might adjust your mood or something like that, or you might see something and then it's making you have auditory activity or something like that.
Yeah. It's just like, like when you get like, if like you watch sports or something like that, you watch sports.
I mean, I don't watch it a lot, but shit, I've been alive a long time. I watched it enough.
I can't.
Oh man. Oh, that might be me.
All right.
You got me?
Nah, I can't.
Hold on, let me come back.
I can't hear you, bro.
Let me try to get closer to the Wi-Fi signal.
But yeah, what I was saying is like when they get excited, when they feel a sensation, like I'm trying to use a good example.
Yeah.
Okay, you ever seen like the little motions they do? We call it stimming when they like it can be like this when they fingers do like this when they get really excited. Okay, that's because it could be a song, it could be some food, a character, some letters that really stimulates them. Like visually, it stimulates them. We say, for example,
Okay.
and when we get excited, we tend to show it in a different way. But with them, since their wiring of their brain is so interconnected and intertwined with different pathways of other parts of the brain, they have repetitive emotions that they seemingly can't control. That's why they do this like this, because they get real excited.
Okay.
And it's like their neurons is firing so rapidly they can't really control it. That's why it looks like they I don't know, you know what I'm saying? I don't know if you ever seen
I
somebody
get it. I get what you're saying. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, so you know what I'm saying? I've been doing this for like I don't know how long I've been doing. I forgot, but yeah, it's interesting to me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, similarly with me, man. I'm very fascinated by how the brain can work and how it usually works. You know, how we've observed it working or whatever. But then the different ways it can go and stuff. Very interesting. And I think you know, obviously you are right that there's people functioning out here that are on the spectrum that have never been diagnosed, you know, and people that have been diagnosed that know that they're on the spectrum, right? And they doing their thing and stuff.
Yeah,
And
man,
that's
you gotta see
important
that
to
guy
know.
in the UK, man. His
Hey,
what they
what
call it,
up, brother
photographic.
Kedrick? What up, brother Anthony? Brother
What
Zen?
they call it? They call it photographic memory. Is that what they
Photographic
call it?
memory, yep. Like the dude that
Yeah,
memorizes
like
credit card numbers.
no. I take it even a step further. This dude, they would take him up in the helicopter and let him look at the whole city, and he'll just, you know what I'm
Remember
saying,
it?
just yeah. So when he go back down to the ground and they give him some paint and a canvas, he'll draw the entire city view that he just saw, like
Yeah, that's
cars, people, everything, every little small detail. He'll go back and just
wow.
paint a whole mural just based off what he just saw.
That's
Like,
crazy.
yeah, that's crazy, bro.
That's that's beyond looking at a picture
Yeah.
of Spider-Man and then
Mm-hmm.
you drawing Spider-Man next to it.
Mm-hmm.
That's way
Yeah.
different.
Yeah. I'm talking about cars in certain areas. Like I was like, dang, that's crazy, bro.
He's
I can't
basically
even do
like the
that.
Google Maps, right?
Yeah. Yeah, that's it. Crazy.
Wow,
What's good,
man.
bro?
Yeah, I'm trying to invite cats up in here, man, just to, you know,
Okay.
live
All right, let
it
me
up
get
and
up off here
whatnot.
then. All right, bro. You know I chop it up with you though.
For sure, for sure.
All right, bro. Peace.
All right, peace, brother. Yeah, that was brother Joshua, man. Team O.S.I.R.I.S, representer, hard hitter. He was talking about his experience with autism, you know, people that are on the spectrum and children and stuff like that, man. There's a lot of high functioning autistic people out there. Some of us might be them and don't know it, you know. We interact with them every day and all that. So it's a real interesting, interesting topic. Woo woo! What up, brother Joe? What's happening? What the business is? Just getting a little live popping, man, while I'm out here in the front yard, just hanging out. Having my... Got brother Josh on here. He was making some food, making some greens, some sweet potatoes, getting down. Yeah, that Google Map, man, the dude he was talking about, that was crazy, man. He could just remember the aerial view of a city and then draw the whole thing when he gets back on the ground. That's crazy. And he was on the autism spectrum. Wow. yeah, man. So they don't let you do too many people at one time on here. So anybody want to come in, man, have a little short talk, little interview or whatever, and we can go ahead and do that. Let me see if Brother Joe, man. Brother Joe, you want to come on? No. So what's popping out there, y'all? Team O.S.I.R.I.S, what's good, man? What's some good topics, man, that y'all want to talk about or hear talked about? Man, I hope this connection is still coming in. All right, it was tripping earlier. Yeah. Oh man, Brother Joshua said ADOS versus foundational black. What was it? Foundational black something. I forget what it was called. Foundational Black Americans. That's what it was. Foundational Black Americans versus American descendants of slavery. Yeah, that's a whole funny thing, man. I mean, anytime you see groups trying to come and like hijack a movement and right and then give it a name and then try to put the LLC on it and be like, this is we speaking for the group now. You always got to watch out for that because you don't know who it is that's speaking for you. You know, these Yvette Carnells and whoever they got up under them and all of that. The writing is already on the wall for all that stuff, man. Like we already seen that they were basically like being used to get people interested in politics ultimately at the end of the day. And in particular, at first they was working with Democrats, then they switched over and started working with Republicans basically. And so they just basically being used to make these parties look good or something like that, like they giving back or they considering it or whatever. That's kind of the impression I'm getting off of that, you know. I don't know what they doing at these conferences or what kind of deals they working out or what, but it's gonna be hard to speak for everybody in the whole country. That's kind of crazy. you know so we'll see how that go, but that's a fiasco with them two subgroups or whatever fighting with each other and stuff. I don't know too much about Tariq Nasheed's thing, but I mean I know Tariq Nasheed, right? He's just a guy that's out to make a buck. You know what I'm saying? He's trying to put out content and get you to buy it. Regardless if it's good info or not or whatever. You know, and I don't know what he's gonna do better than Yvette Carnell and all them. I'm not picking one over the other, no dumb shit like that. you know, and I'm not with the idea of not having a relationship with the different Africans, around the diaspora in different countries. We can't be childish to think that we just gonna be amongst ourselves and not have any foreign relations. You know what I'm saying? Like the country that we in right now makes they bread and butter off of foreign relation, not domestic shit, foreign relation. That is a important factor. So you can't have the black group that lives inside the country that's using foreign relations, and then they don't want to have no goddamn foreign relations. They want to say fuck all them. They don't give a fuck about us. Let's be emotional, because they didn't come pick us up in the sailboats and shit. You know what I'm saying, to save us from the white man. Fuck them. Like, what are you talking about? Just understand it's always gonna be black people everywhere, but we gotta fuck with each other. We gotta be having like cool relations, man. That's what these other groups do. You know what I'm saying? These European nations, Northern European countries getting along with each other. You know what I'm saying? Southern European countries getting along with each other, and then Southern and Northern European countries trying to get along with each other, shit like that, It ain't about just the United States, just the United States. You gotta diversify your bonds as Jizzle would say. So yeah, I don't get caught up in that. There's a lot of mind play and shit going on with that ADOS versus foundational Black American bullshit. What up, Brother Hero? Let me see if I can bring Brother Hero on, man. See if we can get somebody on here. I'm trying to invite some more people to come view and stuff too, and possibly be on. It was just an impromptu little thing. Yo, yo, yo. No doubt, Brother Hero. I feel you. I'm trying to invite some more people from the group in and see if they want to come in. I don't know. Yeah, Tiff, she on they neck, boy. She on they neck about that ADOS. That shit is crazy. I really don't see how it pick up all that kind of steam like that. You know, I mean, I guess I could see it on the superficial, the mainstream, people. But I mean, once you think about it, it's like, what are y'all doing? What are we doing here? How are we positioning ourselves as Black people? You know what I'm saying? In America, we supposed to be like, one of the leaders, I guess, of the diaspora. You know what I mean? So if we're gonna be that, right, and be successful and cultured and shit like that, and try to learn about our history and about modern science and shit like that, then we gotta share with our people that's in other countries. That's in the UK, that's in the African nations. You know what I mean? Tanzania, West Africa. You know what I mean? We got people in Chad and South Africa and Egypt and shit. We got people out there. You know what I mean? Black people is everywhere now, so we got to have some relations everywhere. Oh snap! Here comes Sister Tiff. Oh, Sister Tiffany in there. Let's get it. Let's go.
Hey, how
what's
you
going
doing?
on, Sister Tiffany?
Hey, what's going on? What's going on? I'm just getting off of work.
Right
Yeah, so I know I
on.
look kind of crazy right now, but what's going on? How you doing?
You came right on time, man. Brother Hero said, you should have Tiff on here, beat up some ADOS.
Oh, the topic is about ADOS and the
Yeah,
FBA.
the ADOS and
Oh,
the FBA, the Foundational Black Americans. And I was saying I don't really know too much about Tariq Nasheed, his Foundational Black American thing, but I know about Tariq Nasheed in general, and I don't think I want to entrust this whole movement to what he's saying or whatever. And the same thing with these ADOS. I'm not with groups
you
hijacking the
see, let me
whole.
say this. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead, finish.
Okay, I was just gonna say I'm not with organizations trying to hijack and make an LLC right out of a movement and then say, you know, we speaking for y'all. You know what I'm saying? So it's gonna go how we say. We don't know who these people are for real. Like to be speaking for us like that. Like how you gonna speak for the whole country? That's crazy.
Right. Joshua, be quiet. I just got off of work. Anyways, well, let me say this. See, we have to understand how the reason why you got the name ADOS and FBA taking place. So with Tariq Nasheed, he wants to gain more recognition. Yes. So it's not so much about politics with him. If you know how he do it with Hidden Colors, it was to pretty much just to market, just to sell. It's not about getting out proper information because the man is smart.
Said that. Yes, you're right, sis.
The man is smart. It's not like he doesn't know anything. He's smart. If he want to get out proper information, all he got to do is do the research. He's real smart.
Correct.
He just know who to gravitate, who to reach out to. And the audience that he reaching out to is mainly those in the conscious community. Okay? Right. So he put it's like, it's about popularity. You see what I'm saying? See, if he didn't put people like Dr. Africa or Brother Light or any other people on there, guess what? He wouldn't be able to sell those documentaries.
Right. Is he about making that buck and selling? It don't matter if the info was right.
Right, exactly. See, people like Henry Louis Gates, he wouldn't gain that much recognition, and he deals with the thorough history of African Americans and African history. You see what I'm saying? But anyways, I think he did that as a way to try to compete with the ADOS people. You see what I mean?
But it's like, what's the point? Like that just makes it even more cheap. That cheapens the
popularity. And then with ADOS, the way they try to do things, they're doing it because it's basically going back to what we were talking about on YouTube about respectability of politics.
Yes.
Politics of respectability. That's basically what it is. Because it's not just about reparations, it's more so about privilege.
Correct.
So if I want to earn privilege, right, and I want to gain more recognition, I'm going to do whatever it takes to gain those recognition, even if that means that I have to change my identity. So what both of them are doing is trying to denounce their African lineage or their African part of them, just so they can gain more recognition.
Right. So they can be the favored slave.
It's about privilege. Yes. Yeah. So it's almost like you say, hey, ooh, see me. Hey, don't you see me?
Yeah.
Hey, okay, I'll do whatever you want me to do.
I'm your favorite.
As long as I get the privilege, I'll do whatever you want me to do. Even if that means to change my name. It's all politics or respectability. Or respectability or politics. Or, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Which of course you already know is a trap, because you gain that false sense of privilege, and then you're going to be quickly reminded that you really are not privileged. You didn't gain anything by changing your identity or whatever. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know what grand
You're not going to do that. I mean, it ain't going to change the fact that how they see you. So it don't matter what you call yourself. You can sit here and denounce all you want to. They already know where you come from, right? If you take a DNA test, you're going to already find out where you come from.
Correct.
Okay, you can't change your lineage. You can't get rid of your DNA. You can't. That's just who you are. And correct. It's no different with the ABOs and all the rest of the group out there. They're doing the same thing. It's about privilege. So if they feel like if they denounce that African part of them or whatever is attached to them, then they could gain more recognition. And it's no different. That's just the way with ADOS and FBA. It's about privilege.
Yeah, it's all stupid to me. You know, I see a lot of insecurity because it's like every country, right, that exists now, they have to have their own deliberations and their own parliament concerning what to do about the African diaspora in their country. So why do we have to worry? Like, so the ADOS person that's saying, well, you got these Nigerians and whatever. Why are you worried about them? If they are American citizen, then that means that they part of the black fold in this country. Now, the ones that are in the other country, then they got to go see that country for their reparations. You see what I'm saying? But there shouldn't be animosity between us though. So we shouldn't be mad at Jamaicans, right? And they shouldn't be mad at us. We gonna try to work for what we can get here, and try to facilitate a movement that spreads like wildfires to where the other groups in the diaspora elsewhere will also ask and knock on the door and say, hey, we need to get ours. You see, they got theirs, so we need to try to get ours. Whatever that is, whatever that agreement is going to be between each country and they populace, right?
And see, here's the thing,
we don't need to be bashing each other though. What is this fuck the Nigerians kind of talk coming from? You know what I'm saying? Like that's where we come from.
It's all self-hatred. It's all self-hatred. You know what I'm saying? That's all it is. And then we gotta look at slavery was a international business. It wasn't just a United States business, okay? So slavery was connected with United States, North America, Central America, and Latin America. So with that being said, there was trade going on between those continents, not just in America. So chances are, as you somebody that make claim to be ADOS, you might have somebody that's Caribbean in your family.
Absolutely, you do, right? Exactly.
And if you Caribbean, you might have somebody that was a slave here in America.
Correct.
Like people in Liberia, they are descendant of the African slaves here in America.
Yes, that relocated. Correct.
The Afro-Mexican people, the blacks in Mexico, they are descendant of African slaves here in America. Those that came out of Florida. So you can't sit here and just pinpoint and say, okay, because see your parents, see they from Jamaica. So by them being from Jamaica, you're not ADOS. So you're not one of us.
See, that's what I'm saying.
You can't do that. You don't know everybody's genealogy.
Right. You got to cut that out right there by saying, okay, what does your ID say? If they ID say United States of America, then guess what? They right in the same boat with you. They're not no different. Just because their parents might have been from Barbados or whatever, okay. But they are a product of United States of America. So we on the same team. We don't need to be fighting. That's wasting time.
Right, and see, here's the thing. Now, I always give this example. Biggie Smalls' mom is from Jamaica.
Yes.
All right? She was a single parent that raised him in the hood in Brooklyn, New York, in the projects. She struggled like every single mother. So now, if you got a person that's in Biggie Small position whose mom is an immigrant from another country, a single parent, what do you do? So what you're going to do, you're going to execute them, you're going to just alleviate them from the problems that's going on with black people in America. What are you going to do? How does that work?
Right. She's here. She's living an American life. Right. She's converted.
Right. And her son was born here in America. He was brought up as a black man.
Right. As an American black man. So you can't tell him, no, that's crazy. That's crazy. If you are naturalized, or if you're an immigrant that, got your papers converted or whatever the case, or if you were born here naturalized, then you're part of the team. I mean, it doesn't get no clearer than that. And on top of that, we don't have to be mad at the people in the other countries, okay? And talk about how we don't want them to come here because they're going to take up the money we going to get. No, it doesn't work that way. It doesn't work that way. Okay?
And that's another thing that kills me about the ADOS. They try to say that black immigrants come here and take over the jobs and things of that nature. And I can see you being upset about the illegal immigrants, those who don't have the visa, those who don't have,
but even haven't
gone through the process.
You upset at the company that's hiring them like that. That's what you upset at. You can't be upset at the people. That's the company's fault for doing that. So
right.
I mean, there's really no room to be having this fighting between the different black diasporas. That's a waste of time, really. So as it stands, when these governments go into deliberations and they have parliament about what's going to happen, everybody that has an ID that says United States of America is going to be the one that's included. All the Africans, right, of African descent. It doesn't matter if your parents just came over last generation, or even if you just came over this generation. You know what I'm saying? You're going to be part of the people that's asking for reparations. And then the same thing apply for UK or Spain or whatever other country. When they drum up they support and they get their thing going, we got to say, okay, that's their business. We're going to leave them alone, but we support them. We want y'all to get y'all, like we got ours or whatever the case. We love y'all and we want y'all to get y'all. But not this hate. Yeah. Like, We don't want y'all to have
right.
nothing.
And then
You can't make yourself
Yvette
bigger
Carnell
by
tried to
making
make
somebody else smaller.
Yvette Carnell tried to make a criticism about the congresswoman. I can't remember her name, but her parents was from Jamaica. She was born in New York.
Okay.
And she was one of the people that was trying to reissue the H.R. 40 bill. You heard about the H.R. 40 bill? Yeah, she was trying to reissue the bill that was dealing with reparation. And it was just a big old criticism about, oh, she's not American descendant of slaves. She don't get to speak for us, etc. Okay, I understand how you feel, but here's the thing. She's a congresswoman, and her job as a congresswoman is to issue a bill.
Yeah, that speaks for her constituency. That's what politicians do, is they help out us, the citizens. So she really just doing what she's supposed to do.
Right. So my thing is, if it's that much of a big issue, why did you not go down there to the Congress? Why did you not address the issue? Why did you not come up with it? Why did you not present your proposal to them?
Right.
That's my thing. Oh, Hero asked the question, what do you two think of a unity of diasporic Africans working together to seek reparation from all the various entities responsible for slavery? That'd be a great thing.
Yeah, I'm with that.
I mean, because, you don't have to just worry about as black people, you just doing it by yourself. You know what I'm saying? Like I said before, slavery was an international business. So if every black person from various countries come together and fight for that reparation, that'll make it a lot easier.
Absolutely. It would make it a lot easier, especially for those countries that have less of a chance of convincing their government to make the right decision. If you have help from the other diasporic Africans, that will help push it along, and get these countries to go ahead and get they act together. You know what I mean? So it does help to have that support. Not that we can tell them, what terms to agree to or whatever, but we can put the pressure on to say, look, this got to be a world issue, you know what I'm saying, where everybody has to get into these courtrooms and really fight for all the Africans in all these different countries. It ain't nothing wrong with supporting your people, and getting yours at the same time. You don't have to feel like I got to put this guy down in order for me to get mine.
Right. You can't have no allies either. How you gonna have allies if you trying to put them down so much?
Right. That's what all I'm getting from this stuff is insecurity. Like, why are you trying to make me hate these other Africans and then fuck with you because you saying we gonna get this bread, but then what? I mean, you want to be part of the oppressive class, or you want to try to help the other people, or like what are we doing here?
Okay, here's the thing with them. The thing is, their argument is we built this country, which is true. Our ancestors built this country, etc. But guess what? You're not getting recognition for what you built either. And as far as they're concerned, okay, you built this country, but guess what? You came here to work for free. We didn't build this country for you. We built the country. I mean, you didn't build the country for yourself. You built this country for us, so we can be in control. We don't, you know what I'm saying? So with that being said, you wasn't even recognized until what, after slavery as an American citizen? Beforehand, you were 3/5 of the human population. So I mean, you can see him make the argument all day long that, yeah, we built this country, etc., whoop-de-whoop-de-whoop, but it's not going to change their mentality and how they feel about you.
Of course not. And
you're going to still
there's
be
no
underprivileged.
And there's no way for us to pinpoint what exactly did we contribute, you know what I'm saying? And there's been so much mixing between people that have immigrated, right? And then intermixed with us people that was already here and stuff like that, that you cannot go back now and try to unweave all the black people and say, well, auntie don't get none because she was from Nigeria, but then my cousin, he was part of the people that was, on the plantation, so he gets some. There's no way for you to do the math and to do the genetics to find that out. So why would you even argue that? You just have to say all the people that's black here are going to be considered in these terms. And there's not enough black immigrants to take all the money, whatever the insecurity is that they think is going to happen, that it's not going to happen. We're 13, 14, 15% of the population, right? Let's say 2% of that, let's say 2% of that is African immigrants. Okay, so what? Let them get some bread too. We all gonna get this bread. What the fuck what you mad about? It's not like you're talking about a 30% population increase that's gonna, leave us with nothing or whatever that these people is scared of. There's real and again, there's no way to do genetic tests to find out what your family did for this country and then put a value on it and put inflation and all that. No. Everybody that has an ID that's from here is supposed to be kicked down with something from these terms. And that's it. It doesn't matter if you immigrated later or if you was there at first, because we don't know. We all mixed now. We all mixed together. We've been having babies all across America and moving and migrating and leaving the country and coming back to the country with kids that we had somewhere else and all of this kind of stuff. So you cannot unweave that and figure it out. There's no way to do that. It would take too long for a computer algorithm to do that, even if you had a computer do it, which of course politicians would not allow that to happen anyway, and they would try to do it themselves and they would fuck it all up. So do you want some black people to get some bread, or do you want all of us to get some fucking bread? That's it.
Well,
That's
with the
it.
ADOS, it's like they only want the ADOS to get some bread, and everybody else, they just gonna have to. Even let's say, even if your parents come from another country and you was born here in America, you gonna have to go to your parents' country and get the bread. You can't get it over here. That's their
Nah,
attitude. That's the
fuck no.
condescending attitude they have.
Nah. Now, if you stay in that country over there, then yeah, you work to get your money over there. But if you come here, now you dealing with our laws. That's what it means when you change your ID over and all that stuff. Now you're under our jurisdiction, our laws. All that should apply to you. So when they come over here from Nigeria, they don't keep the fucking driving laws from Nigeria when they come over here. They start driving like we drive over here. They don't keep the healthcare laws. They don't keep the child welfare laws from over there when they come over here. They do as we do here. So the same thing goes for fucking reparations. And again, it's not that many people to be even a fucking argument. A few million people that's from overseas. Okay, so what? The total, the tally is so goddamn large that it doesn't matter. Even if all the black people came to America from these other countries right now, guess what? They still got to be accounted for. Use that fucking inflation, make up a number, and fucking distribute the money. It doesn't matter. Because once you start trying to graft and be like, well, this person shouldn't have and all this, now you're creating artificial classes now of people that
A
are not gonna
dichotomy.
like each other based off of this historic event. That's gonna be like, nah, we not like them, we don't fuck with them. Now we have a reason to be upset with them when really we could have been cool. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna create these classisms, more classisms in this country by doing that. Now these Yvette Carnels is gonna feel like white people, which is to say they're gonna feel guilty, not ever saying that they feel guilty, but they're gonna feel guilty and they're gonna want to gate up their community and never come outside because they know that they fucked over some people, and they probably gonna get robbed if they go somewhere as an ADOS that's of privilege now that shitted on the other black people that live in the country. You see what I'm saying? So you creating a whole fucking can of worms just by having that insecure attitude of, well, my cousin them, she married this dude that's from Nigeria and then they got kids. So how about we just give her half the money and then like the kids get like a quarter and then dad, he don't get shit because he's from Nigeria. Get the fuck out of here.
That's the attitude.
You gonna kick people out your family now because of this? You gonna kick people out your family? Get the fuck out of here.
That's the attitude.
That's crazy. It was crazy when I first heard it, and I said, well, it must be something if it has a national movement and all this shit. So let me listen,
I
give my ear
mean,
to it. I don't like it.
I get. See, here's the thing. I understand policies. Yes, it's important that we should engage in politics in this country. I'm all for that because we should be able to, voice our opinions and things of that nature. I understand that we need economics, but you cannot do it in a way that you try to differentiate a group of people that come from the same people that dealt with the same people that oppressed them, and
Yeah.
by saying this group is from another country and that person, this group over here is from this country, so it's just too much. You can't do that. That'll be too much.
Hell no. Ask these Yvette Carnell motherfuckers if they was thinking about that when they went on vacation to motherfucking Barbados and Puerto Rico and Democratic Republic, wherever the fuck they went, where it was black people, and they fell in love and had a love child, right? And provide and care for that baby and all that shit. Was they thinking about that then? Was they thinking about, oh, you know, fuck them other type of black people? No, the fuck you wasn't. You was having fun. And when they came over to visit you, you know, from the Caribbean or from South America, when the Brazilians come over here to visit and you fell in love and you found your new wife and shit, and then you got her naturalized.
Somebody put, they didn't go through what we went through.
Okay, we understand that. We're allowing for that. They didn't go what we went through. They went through their own thing. So I mean,
right, but they went through slavery.
Right, they went
through slavery. They went through harsh
Correct.
slavery.
It was not what we went through, but the thing is, you can't say what we went through because your ass is probably mixed with some people that came over after slavery. So you don't know you don't know how much money of that you're gonna get. You might only be entitled to 35% of that money because you didn't do your genetics, and you have people that was from Jamaica after slavery coming over here and gave birth to your motherfucking ass, and now you want to be right. Like they didn't go what we went through. Those people are dead.
Like my father, his grandfather, his paternal grandfather was from the Bahamas. And so it's a possibility that he was a slave.
Yeah.
Yeah. So with that being said, you know, I'm finding out that I have Caribbean in my family somewhere in my bloodline.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it is what it is.
Yeah, it's only natural. I mean, that doesn't mean that all the black people that live in America right now are not entitled to whatever this bag is that we gonna get. Everybody is entitled, because if you really want to be down to the detail, we would have to trace back whoever had babies, you know, since the slavery days. You can never do that, by the way. You can never do that. So the only other logical thing to do is to say every black person should go ahead and get a part of this bag. And then other countries, when y'all do y'all thing over there, whatever black person is over there should get part of that bag. Because we don't know if we really are a straight line, a linear line of people that came from the people that built the White House and so on and so forth. We don't know that. We are mixed with people that came over after and people that was here before that were slaves. So what I would say is, if you are a mix, which everybody is, then that means you qualify for the goddamn money. All right. So all of us opinionated people out there to try to be like, well, they didn't go what we went through. Guess what, nigga? You don't have no genetic data to back up who is who. So am I gonna trust you?
And I want to know, what period of slavery are we talking about? Because there's
multiple periods of slavery. Correct.
Well, are you talking about Middle Passage? Are you talking about Transatlantic? Are you talking about after the Middle Passage? Are we
talking about Portuguese? Are we talking about English? Are we talking about Spain? You know, which one? So you can't even do that. And we look like fools being exclusionary, like how white people have been for so long and shit. You know, oh, you guys came and we want to, you know, take all of it because we entitled and manifest destiny and all this shit. That's all like white people talk, man. You need more socialism in your life, man. So whoever, I don't care if it's Jamaican, because guess what? If a Jamaican that came over here, let's say last generation, you don't know that their grandparent was not one that went to Jamaica from America that was a slave. You see what I'm saying?
Exactly.
You don't know that. You don't know that shit. So you just have to be like, okay, you black, then you getting part of this pie. That's it. That's all it is. We only 15% of the population.
Right, and then like places like New York, Louisiana, and Florida, they have a high concentration of black people that come from other countries or come from the Latin American countries, especially in New York. Mm-hmm, you'll find a bunch of people that's Trinidadian, people that's Dominican Republic, Cuban, Barbados, whatever. They come from various countries. And they all intermingle. They all in that same region together.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
It's insane to try to untie us. We are tied. Even so, like me, this is funny, right? I'm in California. My family made the migration all the way out to California. I was the first generation born here in the 80s. I'm an 80s baby, right? Before that, my family was in Chicago. We was in the Midwest. We was in St. Louis. You know what I'm saying? We was in Memphis. You know what I mean? Then before that, we was in Mississippi. And then as you trace back the lineage, you're going to go back to South Carolina, North Carolina, Virginia, you know, Florida, like you said. the Southeast, where everybody landed initially. You know what I'm saying? And then before that, guess where we was at? We was in the goddamn Caribbean. You know what I'm saying? So we're all related. We're all the same lineage of people. And yes, we have mixed. So I don't understand the adults people with the they didn't go through what we went through. We all went through the same shit by different people at different times. We all are sort of related in some sort of way. So get that bullshit out of here. I mean,
no, let me tell you what really got me. When Tyreek said something about the was it Bezalese people, the people from South America, the Bezalese,
Belize,
the Belize, yeah,
yes, I know plenty.
Yeah, he said something about they were responsible for the gangs out there in LA.
Okay, so Tyreek, he's from LA. He's from where I'm from and stuff. And yes, there's that. Just like in New York, there's the African American versus the Puerto Rican or Dominican. You know, we got the same thing here with Belizeans and Hondurans that's blacker than us. And then we kind of know that we family, but we kind of don't jive all the way sometimes or whatever, depending on how ignorant we are. But the thing is, we are one people with them too, the Belizeans. I mean, they just are mixed, right? Just like we are. They just have a different ratio of mixed in there. But I mean, they are African Americans. They still African Americans. Everybody, no matter what country you come from, if you black of African descent, and then now you are a citizen here, you are an African American. That's it.
Exactly.
It don't matter. It don't matter if you was from Puerto Rico. It don't matter if you was from Barbados. It don't matter if you was from Belize or if you was from Mexico or Brazil, wherever. If you was from Canada, we got historic black Canadians. You know what I'm saying? Same shit. Some of us have they blood. You know what I'm saying? I got a genetic variant that makes me able to accept cold weather. You feel me? I may have gotten that from somebody.
That's what we're talking about, Tony. We're talking about black people in America. Yeah.
I may have gotten that from a slave that inherited that trait, right? Being up in goddamn Nova Scotia and Maine and these places up in Canada and stuff where it's cold, you know. So we still all related, and those was originally Caribbeans, right? And then they was Creole as well, because the French was a part of that whole thing. So you got Creole Canadians and Southern Creoles, and we're related to all of those groups. We're all Creole, you know what I'm saying? But
right.
But back to the point. If your ID say that you are United States of America, then you should get a piece of the pie. There's no witch hunt. You know, like I would like to ask these people who disagree, right? Like Tony, our brother, he said he disagree. Are we gonna let Tony go from house to house and tell us who is gonna get the money and who ain't? Is that what we gonna do? We gonna let Tony be the judge of that? Nah, we love Tony. You know, he's a good brother, but I don't think he knows who's supposed to be entitled to the money. I don't think so. I couldn't believe him if he told me this person, their family is tied to slavery and this person is not, or how much percentage of it is. There's no way to do that to convince me. So you just got to pay everybody. That's it. That's all I can say about it.
And then another thing, we got to understand the difference between ethnic and nationality.
Correct. You can be different ethnic groups. You know, we got Ethio-Somalis. Again, I'm out here in LA. We got Ethio-Somali people, right? One of my best friends is Ethiopian, African-American mix. His pops from Ethiopia, his mom's from South Central. You feel me? I'm not going to tell him he can only have half the money. That's fucking stupid. I'm not even going to tell his dad that, because his dad worked, right, and got himself here and got his paperwork and is now a part of the system. So guess what? He gets some of the bread too. I can't do it no other way. I don't care what scenario you present to me. You can be a different ethnicity. You can have a different religion. You can do your parties different than we do. You can have certain racist beliefs, right? Like that exist between ethnic groups or whatever. It don't matter. You all get some bread because you're from African descent. So it doesn't matter. Even if you don't like me. Even if we got Somalis, like we got brother Nipsey Hussle. He was Somali, right? So I said Ethio-Somali, right? You got Ethiopian.
I thought his dad was from Eritrea.
You got or Eritrean. So that's under the Somali umbrella more so than the Ethiopian, right? Is what I'm saying.
Okay.
What I'm saying is they have rivalries between people in Djibouti and what was the country you just said he's from? Eritrea versus Ethiopia, right? And the Eastern what do you call it? The what's that land called? The goddamn Horn of Africa. So you have infighting, amongst Ethiopians, Somalis, and so on, because they think that they different or whatever. But it doesn't matter. They all African American when they come over here, so they gonna get that bread. I mean, it doesn't matter. Even if you don't like me, if your group don't like my group, it doesn't matter. If you're South African, if you're West,
we don't even like each other.
Right. Like we West Africans ourselves here, and then we be finding reason not to fuck with each other. You know what I'm saying? we got Senegambians.
Right, shoot.
We got
if you from the east side, you can't go to the west side.
Right. So I mean, there's no scenario you can present to me that will make me feel like the way ADOS is going is the way to go. There's no way. All that would turn into is some damn fascist elitism that would come down to some sort of like mass. I don't want to say genocide, but maybe leading up to a genocide of people that are like undesirable. You know what I'm saying? With these privileged black people now taking the role of what white people did for so long, and now they're going to oppress this other group or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's going to be animosity is what I'm saying if you do some shit like that. That's crazy. If I was somebody who just came over from Sierra Leone or something like that, and I'm living here and I just had some kids, I would fear for my life. I would feel a certain kind of way when I hear these ADOS types talking about fuck these immigrants and they shouldn't get, none of this, and we should be privileged, basically. I mean, you think you're better, or all of these things come to mind. You think you're better, or you believe the hype that the white man has put upon us, where we think that you can just do black people a certain way, to where black people are going to do black people a certain way. Now it's going to be on an official government stage, not just a gang stage or social group stage. It's going to be like legislation. And then what happens after that? I mean, are we going to be, what's going to be the other side of the deal? We get this bread, we get this bag. What do these white people want us to do now as the ADOS versus these other people? Or, what's our role now? Do they feel like they got us in their pocket?
It's supposed to be a black agenda.
Do they have us in their pocket now that they gave us the money? You know what I mean? Or is there going to be restrictions on what you can do with the money, and that kind of thing, to where it doesn't enable
I guess it's
us
to like create generational wealth or build wealth.
Right, but is it going to be one that says you can't spend money with your Jamaican Africans? You know what I'm saying? Like, because a lot of us here, we gonna get our money and we gonna say, man, let's try to open up some relations, some foreign relations, right, with our people in these other countries. Is there going to be a clause that sort of puts a hamper on that, where we cannot assist these other diasporic Africans in their movements in their countries? You know what I'm saying? Excuse me. Like what kind of tensions does that make for if this ADOS plan goes through, versus if just a generic plan goes through that says anybody that has an ID that says of African descent is going to go ahead and get this bread. I don't see what the problem is with that. I don't know how much more money you think you're going to get by excluding 3 million people. You know what I'm saying? I don't know how, I don't know how much more money you're going to get from that. You know what I'm saying? So it sounds
I don't know either.
It sounds more like a social, mind thing, like where they're trying to get you to think a certain way, even if none of this stuff actually goes through, right? They probably don't think that it's gonna go through. It's just more or less trying to massage a certain mentality into the people that are willing to buy into it, right? that was not even thinking about that before. So maybe Tony Morgan, he might not have ever even been thinking about that. Just for example, not to shit on our brother Tony, he might have not have ever been thinking about grafting or separating himself from other Africans in the diaspora until he got wind of this movement. And then now, for the rest of his life, he might just have hatred or just a general what'd you call it, like a prejudice against what we're calling immigrants, right? These African immigrants, which we're all immigrants if you want to look at it like that. But I don't see nothing good coming from it, really, except for a bad attitude. More bad attitude from Americans. Who would have fucking thought, right? More fucking uppity, arrogant attitude from Americans. That's what we need.
Right.
That's awesome.
And it's not like people haven't been fighting for reparation. People been fighting for reparation for years.
Correct. This is not the first group that's talking about this. Like, come on now. And it takes more than one group. It takes more than just one group to say, okay, this house it's gonna be how we want it to be for everyone, right? Like, are they gonna come to our house? Are they gonna send us something that says, what's your input on this? Or, like, how is that gonna work, dude? The only way I see it working is if the offenders take the reins and say, look, I don't give a fuck what y'all talking about. This is what we finna give y'all. Because we feel that way. We getting pressure, from governmentally wise or whatever. And this is what we are going to do for y'all. Fuck what you guys are asking for. This is what we can afford, and this is what we are going to do. So you better be lucky that we doing this. That's how I think it's going to happen. Not like they're going to do whatever Yvette Carnell fucking negotiates. No. They're going to tell her, look, this is what we doing. And she going to have to be like, okay. That's it.
Yeah.
So if you really want to go there, that's what I think is going to happen. If we're not even going to be in the position to choose or to be like, well, no, we don't want 50 million. We want 60 million per household. No. This is what we're giving you. Do you want it or no?
Pretty much.
That's what's going to happen.
Take it or leave it.
That's what's going to happen. If it even happens. You know what I'm saying? But in the meantime,
and it may not happen right about now. It's gonna probably take 100 years.
Right. It's gonna take time. So
or longer.
If anything, the strategy is let's dwindle down the number of Africans, right? By first cutting out the Nigerians and the Ethio-Somalis that immigrated here and stuff. And then let's even go further. Let's say, like, if you got a jail record, then you can't get none of this bread either. Let's go even further. If you didn't go to college, you can't get none of this bread, to try to have less of a debt to have to pay total. That's the only thing I could see happening with having these kind of conversations. So I'm just going to stay surface level, and I'm going to say whoever is a black person that has an ID card in America, United States of America, should get a portion of whatever the decided amount is. We can't tell them how much it's going to be. We're not even financialists to be able to tell them how much money it should be. They're going to come to us and be like, this is how much money each household is going to get. Okay, sign here. Okay. That's it. So I'm not for any talk about, well, you can give me the bread, but don't give them, the Malik on the corner and them, they Muslim, man. So I think they from Africa and they don't deserve the bread. How the fuck do you know? That's haterism. You trying to turn us into haters now? Like, nah, I'm just worried about mine. Let me get mine, and whoever else is black, hopefully get theirs. That's the approach I'm gonna take.
And you can't do that again. That's hard. You can't create that type of dichotomy. You're not in a position to do that.
Right. Who are we to tell other black people they can't have? Like, what the fuck?
You don't even have that. You don't even have systemic power in this country.
Correct. So who are you telling that they can't have this and that? And we don't even have the bag yet either. So who are you talking to? I mean, why can't you just say, look, man, if the adults or anybody, any movement, if they just said, look, we just got a general outlook on this, which is, like I just said, if you live in America, then you're going to get the bread. Like, now I understand you might have an influx of people trying to move in or whatever the case, but they can retroact, things to where it's not like a scam or some shit, right? Where people just come move in for a month or whatever and get some bread and leave. No, they can see when you fucking came to America and shit like that. So if you just came that year or something like that, maybe you don't qualify. Like the same year that the legislation came out, if you come, maybe you don't, qualify for that. I don't know. But maybe you do, because maybe you used to live in America. Your granddad used to live in America. Now you're just coming back. I mean, you don't know. So it's like, you just got to let it do what it do. They didn't ask all them questions when they was having slavery and all that bread was coming through off of slavery and shit when it was going in the opposite direction. You know what I'm saying? They didn't stop.
When the slaves came here, they didn't have no time to figure out who was Igbo, who was Yoruba. Right. You didn't have no time because you was all bunched up together.
Hell motherfucking no. Even if you was mixed with white back then, like your ass was getting sent. God damn it. I don't give a fuck. You're a person. You can do work. I'm not gonna ask you where you're from and where your grandparents and all that shit. I'm just taking you. It was motherfuckers that was mixed already that was taken as slaves. That's some crazy ass shit.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, and it would depend. Oh, I think it was depending on their mother. Yeah, it's a law. What is it called? I can't. It has something to do. If your mother was a slave, then you were gonna be born into slavery.
right. They and each crown had their own little variation of that. I know what you're talking about, and they had like a way that they do it. But what I'm saying is all of that is bullshit. That's just what somebody arbitrarily decided at the time. So we're gonna do the same thing now. We're gonna give the bread. Oh well, if motherfuckers moved from Brazil to America the same year that this shit happened. Oh fucking well, I bet you a lot of motherfuckers moved from Brazil to this motherfucker to be a goddamn slave and shit. You know, the last year of slavery, they was importing motherfuckers in to still be slaves, and it still went beyond the outlaw date. So we're not going to be fearful of, oh my God, these guys are going to come from Mexico that are going to say they're partially African and get this bread. Oh well, let them get the bread. What the fuck?
Right, sure. I mean, if they black coming from Mexico, I mean, they
Right.
entitled to it because they ancestor was
Right. You
American
can't.
African slaves here in America. So
Exactly. When they said, "Look, we about to outlaw slavery," all right, everybody stop. You don't think that they went out and grabbed some more motherfuckers because they was like, well, it ain't officially over yet, but we just gonna try to keep stretching this motherfucker out even after the outlaw date. So if you didn't give a fuck then, if you didn't give a fuck about that, then guess what? You don't give a fuck if some people, my people, come from the Caribbean to get that check. I'm not worried about that. If this is one of the things that they fear, because again, all this stuff comes from insecurity. If that's something that they fear, then they need to think about the logic. You know what I'm saying? It works in the opposite way too. They did not ask you where you was from. They just made you a slave. They just said you were darker. Look at you. You got some kinky hair. Come here. We got you.
mm-hmm.
It doesn't matter. So it doesn't matter now. That's my thinking on it.
Right. I mean, because at the end of the day, you all bunched up and you still the N word to them. So
I don't care if a family came over after slavery was outlawed officially and then they got made to do it on the underground or whatever, and it was only one generation and they went back to Africa after that, goddamn it. If they come here in this motherfucker, they getting some bread because they did 1 year of slavery work. What, I don't give a fuck if it's one day. You getting that bread.
right. Exactly. Right. I mean,
Even if you was just a slave for a
why
day
would
and
I
they gave you that shit.
stop supporting a group of people because they come from another country? Why would I stop patronizing their business?
Correct. We got to look at the larger picture. If we were to achieve what we're talking about as Americans and we have good foreign relations with our people elsewhere, then we can help them to get more bread. We can have these businesses and we can be trading just like all these other cultures and ethnicities do when they trade with each other. Russia, even Russia and America, who is made to look like, oh, they hate each other and all this. They have business together.
They have
made
history.
money. They made money together.
Mm-hmm.
So the black people, the black Americans can make money with the goddamn Curacao, the people from Curacao, you know what I'm saying, in the Caribbean and shit, the people from Saint Vincent Island. We could be getting bread with some of them. We can be getting bread with some people in Tanzania, you know, whatever. Just like how Europeans do. They do the same shit. So why would we go in the opposite direction and say cut off our potential to make more money for this little money that we gonna get in America? You know, all these other countries are international. They don't depend on just the money in their country. So why would we do that? That's crazy.
Right.
Why do we need to be upset?
It's the condescending attitude. It's the colonialism.
Correct. I don't like it
Tell
at
me
all.
where in America we all working together with other Africans. Well, you got some people, those who are business owners that works in conjunction with Africans. You're not gonna find that in every corner, of course, because everybody don't have a business, but there are those who are doing so. You know, it's just that you have to be willing to put aside your differences or, you know, put aside your attitude. Because at the end of the day, it all comes from colonialism. It all comes from being brainwashed.
We imitating them. We imitate the pompous attitude, the I'm better. You didn't have it like I did, so you ain't entitled to what I'm entitled to. And and then throw in religion or whatever and manifest destiny. I'm supposed to have this, right? People make it a religious experience so that they can be more convicted about it, which makes it more dangerous. Now they really want to be exclusionary of other people. Oh, they a different faith. America, we a Christian country, so you got to be Black American Christian, and then you cool. Like, nah, that's not how it works. You going backwards, man. You repeating what the white dude was doing to us. You repeating that shit. Don't be scared to open up your market to get some money here and then be able to make money in other places. You like to go vacation there and put your feet up, you know what I'm saying, and have sexual relations with they men's and women's out there when you go to these other countries and stuff.
That's why I respect what's his name, Amir Dynasty, the brother that got a YouTube channel called Search for Uhuru. Amir Dynasty. Yeah, the black brother. Now, he takes on the initiative to travel to African countries, various parts of the country. And he even got a dual citizenship, I think is in Ghana or Nigeria, one of those countries. So he travels like every so often. Mm-hmm. He goes to different countries. He interact with different African people and get their perspective on things. And, either and also do business with them. So you just have to take the initiative and you just have to be able to willing to open up and not be so close-minded.
Yeah, let me give a suggestion for Brother Tony, right? Because he's asking the question like, like you said, tell me where they working together, right? Americans and Africans. You can do yourself a service, man, by just going online, go to your search engine, and just type in something to the effect of Africans assisting Black Americans or business relations between African Americans and Africans on the continent, something to that effect. And you might find that there is even charitable organizations in Africa that helped out Americans over here. You might even find that, right? Because we know we got the American charities that take that money off the top to feed the child every day or whatever, the 80 cents a day and all that. They have shit like that out there to help us over here. But that's probably even more effective. You know what I'm saying? It may or may not be. But the intention is there. It's people that fuck with us that want to help us out here. Just like it's people here that fuck with Africans that want to help them out there with these outreach programs. So it goes both ways. We can't be arrogant to think, oh, no, they ain't never helped us. We just only help them. No, that's not true. That's cognitive bias. So I would say challenge yourself and go online and look up, business relations between African Americans and Africans on the continent, or charitable hospitality from Africa to America. And I bet you will see something. It's been too many years for there not to have been at least a handful of examples so that you could be satisfied, right, with your question. I mean, every country has probably had outreach and helped every other country by now, with the exception of, a few that don't fuck with each other for historical war reasons or whatever. But we're in 2019 now, dude. So by now, yes, we probably have had assistance from people in Africa to whether it's for entertainment industry, whether it's for medical industry, whether it's for charitable organizations, whether it's for resources. Like, countries be giving each other their leftover concrete and like chop down trees and stuff like that. Like, they sell it to each other. You know what I'm saying? So that counts as business between the countries. You know what I mean? So all of that is the game. It's the matrix, that everybody is in. And I'm choosing not to be, in that matrix, man. It's very simple, It's not.
And I want to say this to Tony. He say they look down on us. We look down on each other all the time.
Correct. And that's a fear.
We look down on each other more than anybody else look down on us, if you really want to know the honest truth.
Absolutely. Look at how we talk to each other in the Black household. Each other.
We'll be so quick to commit violence against one another.
Correct. You might hear in a Black household, oh, nigga, you ain't shit. And that's why you're not going to get that degree that you're going for, because your ass is stupid and you ain't never going to be shit. Or that's why you keep falling back into alcoholism, whatever, because you ain't shit. that is looking down on somebody. We do that in our own same household. A parent will do that to a child.
Okay.
Will say, you ain't shit.
And don't let it be that daddy done had kids with somebody else and all of a sudden he passes away and then those kids show up at the funeral. They'll be like, oh, nah, you ain't one of us.
Right. We do it to ourselves. The whole looking down on, oh, well, y'all live over here. You know, my family that live in the hood and shit over there, they ain't shit because they live over in the hood still or whatever. So we don't fuck with them. What? That's looking down on people, and we doing it to each other here. And then so we just scared of the thought that somebody over there would look down on us. But the fact of the matter is, every country.
Oh, I'm light skinned, you dark skinned. Oh, you dark skinned bitches are ugly. Woo,
right.
woo.
Every country have
you
that.
Light skinned bitches think that you all that.
Every country has that. That's just human relations. Every country have that. But that don't mean that we can't still fuck with each other ultimately, even though we have the ignorant demographic in every country that's gonna be ignorant. That's not an excuse to not fuck with each other, to not love each other. Now you letting them win. If that's the case, we letting the most ignorant parts of our society win if we just go along with that shit and just say, well, you know, they look down on us, so fuck them. And then they saying the same thing about us. Meanwhile,
exactly. African booty scratcher, all of that. Right, come on now. You remember saying that as a kid, you an African booty scratcher.
Yeah.
Oh, that's why you got AIDS.
Right. Meanwhile, we both are lonely and need each other and want to reconnect and do love each other and would like to have a bonding if we had the opportunity. You know what I'm saying? But we just so prideful. Oh, fuck them. You know, it's the same thing with relationships, right? When that woman get mad at that man, she knows she love that nigga. And she, oh, fuck him, and, you know, and all that shit. But guess what? Next week, your ass is going to be, oh, daddy, I miss you, I love you. You know what I'm saying? All that shit. Same shit. But this time with whole communities. So we saying, oh, fuck them, you know, and they saying, fuck us. But it's all based off of propaganda because we think the other party don't like us. No, we actually do. If we were to meet, you know, just in a human fashion, right, we would get along, or we would try to find something to get along with, right? Like, come on. So I don't believe that narrative. They don't like us. And, you know, the only way I believe those narratives is with people who have actually shown a propensity to really hate whatever's different than them, which is to say the more pale European, right, the trans-Caucasian of our species that have shown that what they will do to people they don't like and who think they don't like us type shit. We know what comes from that kind of ideology. So we got these people that's broke. They don't have no military to take no shit over, but they thinking with this pompous, arrogant attitude that white people have had so long, who have had the resources and the guns and shit like that to back up what the fuck they saying. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Tony is not gonna back up nothing. When Mrs. Nairobi, right, moves into his neighborhood, guess what? She's going to go about finding someone to have a baby with there and make a life there, and he's not going to fucking stop her.
Right.
She's going to be part of the community. So
right.
That's it.
Oh, you want to hear something funny? Somebody compared the ADOS with the Black Panthers Party.
What do you mean compare?
Like, they compare the ADOS as, you know, the new modern day version of Black Panthers.
I know you didn't say that.
I'm telling you, somebody put that on my page. I thought that it was just hilarious. Like, are you serious?
Oh man, so that's a testament to like how misinformed we are, because you know now we in the age of information and all that. All the info is out there, but there's so much misinformation mixed in that we still don't know what actually happened in history. You know what I'm saying? Even though it's there on paper, which is it's even more infuriating, because if people knew what was going on, they would never make that kind of comparison. There's no way that those even correlate. Like, that's crazy. What is ADOS doing to help? Okay, before we go into that, right? Because we know they don't have no fucking lunch programs. They don't have no fucking women's food programs. None of that bullshit. did the Black Panthers, when they were doing their thing, tell people to tell me what your ethnicity is, where your daddy from, before I help you out?
No, they didn't have no time for that.
Hell motherfucking nah.
They didn't have time for that.
So you're not compared just off the strength of that. Just off the strength of those two things. Y'all don't got no programs where y'all helping nobody. And the Panthers did not differentiate like that or graft between the different black people.
No, as a matter of fact, they was international. The Black Panther was not just in America; they were international.
Yes, they even made it all the way to Australia, helping them out, helping the Aborigines out. Like that's crazy.
Exactly.
So that's how you know this is all just talk, man. These people just talking. These is just Americans, Black Americans that's not really that informed, just talking and being like conservative white folks who are scared that all the resources gonna get taken from them by these less desirable types, which again goes back into us creating these classes and stuff like that. Could you imagine going out to the mall and shit as a Black person now, which you already have to kind of watch your back or whatever, but you going out and now you looked at kind of like how we look at white people and shit when they go out. Like you might be a target now, like, oh, this nigga got the bag and we didn't get the bag and he don't fuck with us, so let's rob this nigga, man. You know what I'm saying? Like that's crazy.
Yeah, it is crazy.
That's creating conflict. You know what poverty do? Poverty make people eat each other. Yeah. So how do I look getting the bag in the same neighborhood as these other folks that's in my community that's Black, but they didn't get the bag though because their mom came from Barbados or whatever. And now they looking at me and I'm looking at them and I'm locking the car door, I'm locking up the pad and stuff. What kind of life is that? Like how these white people live now, when they lock their door when you walk past? That's crazy.
Right. That's crazy. Don't throw a party because they'll be quick to call the police on you.
Right. Now you getting the cops called on you and shit. If you like, nah, that's too much classism for me. It's already enough in this motherfucker for me.
It can't even throw a party, can't even have a barbecue without somebody calling the cops on you.
Right. So I see them Yvette Carnell types as they gonna be like junior fucking white people. That's what I
mean, because at the end of the day, you gotta be honest about it. It's about politics. Was it respectability? No, politics or respectability.
Correct.
And seeking privilege. That's mainly it. I mean, that's the scenario.
That's it.
You're trying to seek more validation.
Mm-hmm.
You're trying to clean up your image.
Correct. You'll even put down your neighbor in order to clean up your image and make you look a little better. That's ultimately what it's coming down to. And you're gonna use their lineage as the real reason. Like, oh well, you know, they was from Jamaica, so they probably dirty. That's pretty much what niggas is thinking. Like, that's how white people think.
Mm-hmm.
That's how white people think. That's crazy. We're all related.
And as for me, I say it like this. You know, I'm not finna denounce myself to fight for reparation or to get restitution. I'm not getting ready to. I mean, if you want to claim yourself ADOS or FBA, whatever, that's you. I'm not getting ready to do it. I'm not getting ready to drop African and just identify as American just so I can get reparation. I'm not gonna do that.
No, I'm not doing
I'm not gonna do it. No, because that's who I am. That's my lineage. That's my ethnic background. Why would I want to denounce that?
Right.
And then after all this time, I done took all this research and studying, trying to study about history and whatnot. You think I'm finna denounce myself just so I could fight for a piece of money
that I may not even get? I'm
not finna do that. It don't take all that. Why should I have to go through that?
Now you jeopardizing
to just be validated.
You jeopardizing future relations based off of that. You know, countries don't last forever. That's another miscalculation by these people, is that you're looking at it like, you know, only you can get the resources because it's not enough to give to the people that came from other countries in 2 generations ago, which is stupid. And you feeling like this country's going to be around here forever and you're always going to have the same system that you do now. But history shows countries collapse and shit. But guess what? Feelings remain. So if this country collapse and we have to go incorporate with these other niggas, they gonna have a chip on their shoulder about us. We don't have good relations now. Now we're an underclass in this other country. When it comes to war, you know, if these other countries were to assist us, how do they feel now if we giving them the same attitude that white people give them, basically? Why do they want to even fuck with us if we're gonna look at them how white people look at them? Why would they want to help? You know what I'm saying? I'm not down with fucking up future relations, because all countries do have to end up working together, and countries combine and become one country. Countries split up and become two countries out of one country. All kind of shit fucking happens. So
exactly, even the ones that had wars against each other, they end up working together.
Yeah. So it's crazy. I don't think it's worth it. You're not going to be that much more richer by putting down the other people, is what I'm saying. You can still get what is coming to you, which is basically whatever the country can afford, because you're not going to tell them how much money to give you. They're going to give you a certain amount, and you're going to take that shit and let them give the other certain amount to the other folks too. Because at the end of the day, what if they didn't give the money to people who's 50% Barbadian and 50% African American? They're gonna add up all that money and then redistribute it back, you know, so you get more or whatever. It's only gonna be like $1,000 more. What the fuck you gonna do with that $1,000 extra except for go buy a fucking video game and some shoes and be out of money?
Right.
I don't see it, man. I don't see it. It's not enough immigrants for that to be a problem. There's not as many African immigrants as there is, you know, Latino immigrants or white immigrants or whatever. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Exactly.
It's way more motherfuckers from Italy and Lithuania and shit like that. It's way more motherfuckers like that from there than it is from Africa. Way more motherfuckers from Colombia that are European Hispanic, we'll say European dominant Hispanic, that are coming from South American countries than it is Africans coming from African countries.
Exactly.
It's way more of them. It's only a little bit
because not many can afford to leave their homeland to come to this country. Like most of them come from undeveloped countries.
Correct. They might send
in Africa
1 or 2 people,
and in the Caribbean as well.
Yes.
So many cannot afford to just leave and just come here.
Right. Your people in Mexico, you know, you'll have whole families and whole like lineages leaving Mexico to come here. But somebody in Eritrea, a family out there, they might send 2 people and be like, look, man, y'all go out there and just send money back to us, and we gonna stay here. But y'all just go out there and make that money and send it back.
Because they might come from a war zone, you know what I'm saying, where they can't leave right away. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. They're not even allowed. Like, yes, exactly. So it's not enough Black immigrants for me to be fearful of Black immigrants. It's not enough of them. Let them have some money too. What the fuck?
And they might want their children to have a better life than what they had coming in their homeland.
Right. By them coming over here, what they saying is, I want to join y'all as Americans. I want to help out, and I'm paying taxes. I'm doing my thing. I'm doing some of these after school programs, watching some of y'all motherfucking kids. You see what I'm saying? I'm a teacher teaching y'all motherfucking kids, and you telling me I can't have some bread?
Right.
I'm a part of your community going forward to the future now, because I agreed to come and be a citizen here.
Right. But then some of them are, you know, some people feel like, okay, well, they gonna always take their money back home to the country they from and give it to their family or build empires or whatever.
Insecurity.
I mean, some of them do take money back home to their family, take care of their family.
No shit. No shit. But guess what? Black Americans that's born and raised here for a bunch of generations, we might have people in another country now that we send money to. So what? You think these ball players that's from America and shit like that, they might have friends or family, right, that moved from America to another country and they sending their money to another country, or now they found a wife or, you know, husband or whatever that's in another country and they sending them money from America. You don't think that's happening? So it invalidates the argument. Everybody is free to fucking live here, make some money, and do what they want to do with it, whether that's spend it foreign or spend it here domestically, or both, which most people are going to do a little bit of both. Nobody is going to do every fucking, you got to pay to live here. So you're contributing to society while you're living here, and you're sending a little bit of money to wherever the fuck you're sending it. But guess what? That's your motherfucking business. Tony can't tell me not to send some fucking money to Saudi Arabia if I fucking want to, if I got a friend that's out there. You feel me?
Right.
Or a family or whatever. So I don't have to just be an immigrant to be able to send money. That's a privilege to be able to send money to other places. Like, that's fucking crazy to tell people, oh, you're going to send money. You send money too. All the places that you shop at, like, at the end of the day, we're in a global society. So when you shop on Amazon, you sending money to another motherfucking country somewhere. When you buy from Barnes and Noble, whatever the fuck you do, labor is not just in America. You're paying other people, so that's okay. So why not pay your people? Like, pay even more attention to paying your people by having good relations with them. Maybe you find a company that you buy stuff from that's black owned from another country, and not be scared about that, right? Be like, yeah, I got a guy.
There you go.
I used to buy from the white boy, right? This item, but now I can buy it from a black dude that live in Jamaica. I buy my shit from him now. There's nothing wrong with that.
There you go.
Absolutely nothing wrong with that. We got to have good relations, you know, and we can still get ours here and not be scared that we're not going to get ours, and have good relations with other people. This is simple human stuff. Like, it's better. Humans are social creatures. You heard that phrase before. Humans are social creatures. Why?
Yeah.
Because socializing breeds success. Having a network, you heard the phrase, your network is your net worth.
That's right.
How the fuck do you plan on getting resources? You don't make paper. You don't make clothes, nigga. You don't make all of this stuff. So you have to network with people to be in a system where you barter and you get stuff from people, and you have a service that you might offer as well. You know, some of these people that's talking that shit, they don't even have a service to offer nobody, to help nobody else. But they asking, why is they not helping me and shit? And when they are, you just go online and fucking look up an African cultural center in your fucking neighborhood, and you can go get some goddamn charity from an African right now.
Right.
A free class in beating a drum. That's better than what you're doing. Do you have a free class about doing something American over in Africa? No, you don't, nigga. So we all can get money. We all can trade influence and culture and all of that stuff. That's gonna happen anyway. We're naturally social creatures. So it's counterintuitive for us to put down the Nigerians and the people from Ghana. For what? Because the political climate right now is saying, we'll treat you better if you guys just shore up as Americans and deny your Africanness, and we're gonna hook you up now. Get the fuck out of here. Get the fuck out of here, man. And I hear Brother Tony talking about take care of your backyard first. This is all white rhetoric, dude. Like, this is all the shit that they say, that they've employed. And it's distracting conversation, right? That doesn't mean shit. Clean up your own backyard first. What does that mean? What are the details of that? You don't fucking know. We don't even have a backyard. How about that? How about we're subleasing?
We have broken communities.
we're subleasing in this building from the motherfucker that owns the backyard, and we don't even get to enjoy the backyard. We got to stay like in our room that we rent from these motherfuckers.
That's right.
So guess what?
You're right. We don't have a backyard because they'll take over.
Exactly. We don't. We have a window in that room though, and I bet you we can send a kite or send a string out to another complex, aka another country, where I can sell them some shit and make some money, and I can go over there and have a backyard, so to speak, right, with people that enjoy me because we've networked now. We have good relations, right?
Right.
So we don't even have a backyard to be talking about clean up your backyard. That's fucking rhetoric. That's white people rhetoric. Shut that shit up.
Yeah, because if you do have a backyard again, the investors gonna take over that backyard.
Exactly.
They buying up that backyard, and ain't nothing you can do about it. Gentrification taking place. Where you gonna go?
If anything, networking with other Africans, man, and have them come to your neighborhood and shit, and you have more numbers now. They helping you. they helping you by coming over here. Honestly, it's not as much competition as it is just having people that share similarities with you, even if it's distant similarities because we've been removed from them for so long. But once old family get back together and start chopping it up, that shit is like old times, and it feels good. You don't have to be mad. You don't have to be mad at your brother from Ghana because you don't understand what he goes through.